Hello everyone, thanks for checking out my new channel called Stat Ninja, and I want to talk about the some facts and stats regarding gun violence in the United States. So it's been a big topic for a while. The only problem is every time I listen to a politician, a high school student, even the president or a Democrat or a Republican, nobody has any actual stats or facts or numbers to back up what they are lobbying for. And I guess once I go over these numbers to you, what they're going and what they're lobbying for probably isn't going to make sense because the stats and the facts don't add up. So I'm just trying to do this from a third party person looking in, and not be biased in any way. So let's get to our gun statistics here. This information I downloaded from the FBI.gov website, and they have these little packets where you can download the Excel files, and this one just happens to be for the year 2016, and it has multiple columns. It has total murders, firearms, and it tells you how the murders were committed. Total firearms, handguns, rifles, shotguns, unknown firearms, knives or cutting instruments, other weapons, hands, fists, feet, etc. So I just want to make clear that not all the police departments and police agencies from every state submit information into the FBI, but a majority of them do. And Florida is like the entire state, I don't believe, submits any type of information, at least any that I could find in this 2016 download that I did from their website. So let's get into it. I think it would be important to know that the number one state leading in murder is California. That is a state controlled by Democrats. Total number of murders is 1,930. Now, out of those total 1,930 murders, 1,368 were by firearms. They break it down into handguns and rifles. 930 handguns were used in these murders, and 37 rifles were accounted for 37 murders. 36 people were killed by shotguns. 365 people were killed by firearms, type unknown. 280 people were killed by knives or cutting instruments, which actually outnumbers the rifles and shotguns combined. Other weapons, 193. Hands, fists, and feet, etc., were 89. Now, I could go through every state and, just read all this off to you, but what I did was I used the sum function and just added up all the states, including them all together, and we get a rough estimate of murders in the United States in 2016 at a total of 15,070. So that, out of that 15,070, we had 11,004 murders were committed by firearms. So tougher gun control regulations, etc., whatever, would I don't know. They don't seem to help now. They haven't helped in the past. If we did a total gun ban, would that lower our murder rate? Your guess is as good as mine. It probably would reduce the number of murders in the U.S. substantially. But on the same token, as if you know what's going on in London, they have a total gun ban, and now their murder rate is higher than New York, which it never was before. And the preferred choice of weapon in London is knives. So let's go on with these numbers here. So you have to keep that in mind. If somebody wants to murder somebody, they're going to find a way to do it, no matter if it's guns or knives or anything else. Crowbars, baseball bats, cars. So the total number of murders involving guns was 11,004. Now, handguns made up 7,105 of those murders. Rifles, 374. Shotguns, 264. So, another question I have is, if all these the Democrats and these high school kids are wanting tougher gun regulations on these so-called militarized looking rifles, or they call them assault weapons, but anything can be an assault weapon. Anything can be uh, classified as assault weapon. If it's used to attack you, it's an assault weapon. But that's besides the point. The thing is, they're trying to push and lobby for tougher control on rifles, and the numbers just don't support that. In reality, if they actually had the numbers in front of them, they would be like, oh, handguns. 7,105 people were murdered with handguns versus, less than 600 with rifles and shotguns. So it seems that handguns are the preferred method of choice when you want to kill somebody. Knives is really high too. 1,604 people died from knife attacks. There was another 1,806. We don't know how they died. And 656 used their hands and fists and feet, etc. So it just doesn't make sense to me. If the Democrats are pushing for tougher gun controls on assault rifles, these things they call assault rifles or militarized looking rifles, they're obviously just doing it to make it look like they're doing something. I can't see why, even the NRA probably wouldn't get that upset about it, because handguns are their top seller. Rifles, they're not really the preferred choice of weapon. We just had a few that were used in mass shootings. Now, if you go to motherofjones.com, there was somebody who did a study on all the mass shootings since 1982. There were 143 mass shootings, and this information is all the way up to 2017. 143 mass shootings since 1982. Out of 122 of those shootings, handguns were used. Out of 29 of those shootings, shotguns were used. And out of 43 of those shootings, rifles were used. So once again, even in the mass shootings, handguns are the preferred weapon. So if I were to deduce, make my conclusion here, I would say that, your typical gun control person, which is the Democrats, and anybody who's misled, who doesn't know the numbers, they're going to, or somebody who does know the numbers, they're going to go after the rifles first, because the numbers aren't there to support action against rifles. That it's like nothing. 7,000 murders committed by handguns versus 374 murders committed by rifles. So I can see what the tactic is here. Get rid of the rifles first. Get more gun control on the rifles first, and then after a few years passes by and nothing changes really with mass shootings and that, they're going to be like, oh, well, handguns were the problem all along. Look at these stats that we've brought to you from the FBI. Now they break out the stats and they show you how more devastating handguns are when it comes to murder. So now we have, roughly 7,000 people getting killed a year with handguns. So now we have to ban handguns altogether, or put real tough restrictions on them so that nobody can get them. And I think down the road I'm going to be doing videos comparing, the categories of fatalities, like car accidents and people dying from being obese and health issues, heart attacks, cancer, cigarette smoke, drug use. There's so many other things going on in the U.S. that are killing way more people. 15,000 people dying a year from guns. I bet it's going to be one of the smallest categories. I'm just assuming. I don't know, but I'm just guessing that it's probably going to be one of the smallest categories when it comes to fatalities in the United States, besides snake bites. So I thought it was really important to get this information out to you guys. If you want to look it up, just go to the FBI.gov website, and there's a website called Mother of Jones. And it kind of breaks down what guns were used in the last, 143 mass shootings since 1982. So if I were a politician and I had these stats in front of me, I would think to myself, okay, we need to do something about handguns. Handguns are the things we should be trying to tackle, not rifles. Um, they're smaller. They're easier to conceal. I'm going to assume the ammunition for these handguns is probably going to cost slightly less because there's more handguns and they sell more bullets for handguns than they do rifles. So, but that's all information I'll find out as I do my research in that and share it with you. So, if you like this information, if you learned something today, please subscribe and hit the like button below, and leave a comment. Uh, and maybe throw some ideas at me, like stuff you've always wanted to know, involving facts and stats, and I can research that for you and try to bring it to you in a video format. So I'm just playing around with this idea with this YouTube channel, and I think it's important because of all the debates and stuff we have. If you're an avid watcher of debates and you listen to politics and the media a lot, you can you could see that there's not a lot of facts and stats being used to support their point of view or their agenda. So, all right, guys, thank you for watching, and I will be back some other time to provide another video with information and facts and stats. All right, thanks for watching Stat Ninja. See you later.